seems that envy is my sin.
Oh, what's in the box? What's in the fucking box?
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. It's another episode of What's in the Box. I am your host, Death Metal Hero, and I got my good friend Michael Oden, and we are talking Elysian Fields because I got something in the mail. But first, what's in the box? No, not until you put that gun in. What's in the fucking box? Yeah. So how you doing, brother? It's been a while since I got to chat with you. How's life?
Dude, I know. So like it was this whole thing where I was on. For those of you who for some reason haven't seen me on anything before, I was on Shay's show on Sunday nights for Writing Bros, like all the time for like a solid month and a half, and then my work changed my entire schedule, and so I get off right as her show starts, and my drive is an hour long to get back from work, and so it'll be like a whole thing where I'd get back, it would be 11 p.m. You guys would be midstream, and I'd be like, do I want to go on, or do I just want to go face plant and go into a coma? I'm gonna go face plant and go into a coma. And so like it's just this unfortunate thing where it's just circumstances have prevented me from joining you guys. I really miss being on that show. Writing Bros was one of my favorite things to go on.
Oh yeah, it's always fun having you on there too, man. You know, good discussions. You know, and the rest of the panel, you know, it's always a lot of fun too. You know, we got a lot of good people that show up. But yeah, dude, you know, hopefully I'll get a chance to jump in again, man.
Yeah, I'm hopefully changing over to a different job where I will potentially have Sundays off. So I'll be back on again. So that'll take a little bit. I'm going into the interview on Tuesday, and I'm fairly certain I have the job because they told me to bring all my stuff for my I-9 paperwork. So like,
yeah, that seems like a pretty fair, fair bet,
like a deductive reasoning says.
Mm-hmm. Wait, people still use that?
Yes.
Reasoning, I mean, yeah. Well, that's awesome, man. Yeah. I think this coming week on Writing Pros, we're doing the one-page stories that people have submitted, and I think that will be the end of the season. We got Unhinged Entertainment. He's at work just saying, hey, thanks for popping in, Jason. Good to see you, brother. We got Mr. Sim hanging out. What's going on, Sim? Good to see you, brother. And just want to point something out, Sim. You know, just to poke at you just a little bit, homie. See how our boy did 9 Realms Publishing. I knew it was coming from Mr. Oden here, so I was able to set this up. I had no fucking clue when Blood Hunt showed up, homie. So just saying. I mean, that way I know. That way I could set something up like this so we can do an unboxing, man. Anyway, so speaking of which, I guess we should probably get into this because this is the first issue. This is actually the 0 issue of your Elysian Fields, and you've got a new campaign out right now called Elysian Fields: The Pyramid Gambit. And
it's an exciting time to be alive. 2 Elysian Fields books in 1 year. What the fuck's going on?
It's an exciting time to be a creator, man. You know, and you're telling your stories.
It's been a blast. Like honestly, this has been such a fortunate experience. Like if the 0 issue had not been as successful as it was, I don't think we would have been able to get this turnaround as quick.
Sure.
Literally, we surpassed all of my expectations with the 0 issue, and I was able to just turn around and get Marcelo, our artist, started on the next book. I had already written the script for it, because when I had written the 0 issue, it was like part 1 of a script that was just too long for one single comic book.
Right.
And so I kind of split that up, which is I'm not going to give you any spoilers because you will be reading it probably this week. But like so like the first part of Pyramid Gambit is the continuation of the Zero issue, and then we go into the actual meat of the tournament.
Nice. Okay. All right.
So that's kind of what we had. So the next book is the story is 54 pages. And if we hit 20K, I'm throwing in another 10.
Nice.
So I know that's a big if, but I think we can do it. We made 8,829 on the last campaign. It's a little over twice what we made. I genuinely believe that with the quality of our book and everyone getting that book on time,
that's huge,
I think,
man.
Yeah, I think we will be getting that return base. I genuinely do.
Excellent. All right, so we're going to go ahead and rock the trailer for the first book here before I open this, so we know exactly what we're getting into.
Hey there, welcome to the Elysian Fields crowdfunding campaign. Thanks for giving us a check out. Elysian Fields started off as just a game between friends. Nerdy kids debating which mythic heroes would win and did against each other. Over the years, as things grew, this became a concept that I fixated on, knowing the potential that it could have as a story. Now it's a living, breathing thing, and for it to succeed, I need you. So come check out our Indiegogo campaign and see what you can do to bring Elysian Fields issue 0 to print and beyond. Thank you.
All right, man.
Yep. It was short, sweet, to the point. That's exactly what I wanted.
Short, sweet, and to the point. Hey, man. Brevity. Brevity is a good thing. All right, so let's change this camera around here. And do thank everybody who's joining us this evening or this afternoon or whatever it is here. And let me adjust this just a touch. I finally got the an arm instead of having the camera mounted to my my light, so I can now actually change the lighting on things, which is just bizarre to me. Ow!
Hey man,
all right.
You're excellent. You're prepared. A lot of people who have done unboxing videos of this have been like, man, he went all out on the tape.
Oh no. See, the state that I live in, I try to always have a knife and fire on me at any given time. Like I don't trust Mother Nature to not have some shady shit up her sleeve, and just in fucking case, I want to be able to cut shit, and I want to be able to set shit on fire.
Yeah,
because then I can stay warm and, fashion a spear, cook whatever meat I kill, all that fun stuff. All right. I don't know. Feel like it's I always feel like it's better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it.
No, absolutely. It's a good mantra for everything in life.
I think so. All right. Wow. How's the camera looking?
It's already spoiling itself through the cracks there.
I know. It's too pretty. It's got to be seen.
Yeah, they're pretty.
Man. Look at the shiny. Look how
and then
pretty.
You should have something in one of those.
Nice.
So there's a pinup in that second one. So the one that you're holding right now is the one that's signed. The way I did it was the signed ones are the ones that have the pinup in them. So that way my books. That's the collector one.
Hell yeah, man. So that's the one to get CGC'd is what I'm hearing.
Yep.
All right, you gonna stay? All right.
Let me know what they give for the rating on that, because I'm sure Hero and Villain Design would be thrilled to see if they got like a 9.8.
Man, look at that pin up, y'all. Look at that pin up.
Yeah, Jim O'Reilly kicked ass on that thing.
Dude, I dig it. I love the motion. I love the blood coming off of the spear.
Yeah, you want to know a funny story about that?
Yeah.
So Jim is a perfect example of like artists being their own worst critics, because the guy just is super humble, and in no false way. Like he genuinely plays down his ability a lot. So like he sends me 3 or 4 different versions of that pinup, and a bunch of them are just black and white, and then it like kind of transition, and you kind of starts adding more elements to it as it goes along. And this was the final one. He's like, so yeah, I'm not a professional colorist or anything, so if you want to send that to your guy and have him color it, I completely understand. That's why I have the black and white version there. I'm just like, Jim, are you fucking kidding me?
Nah, Jim, you did a good job on this, dude. This looks great. That's exciting.
Yeah, no,
hell yeah, man.
He did good. He did good work. Yeah, so there they are in their holofoil glory, and look at how I love how the freaking the light ripples across the cover there. Like,
it's like I used to love this on the cards that I collected when I was younger.
mm-hmm.
You know, just like seeing like I don't know, it's almost like electricity rippling across the cover. You know,
so that's
so cool.
The pattern's called magma, and like
Magma.
I love how it ripples off of like, especially like the gold and the fire and everything. It looks beautiful.
Ooh, and the sigil on the back. Look at that. Ooh,
Sign of heat.
Shiny. That is a beautiful cover, man.
Yeah, it came out very good.
Wow. Paper feels really good too, man. It's good.
Yeah,
good print quality.
I think it's 80 weight.
Yeah.
80.
No, it's smooth. Yeah, man. This is beautiful. I am excited. I'm excited to read this because of all the conversations about Greek mythology that we have had on Writing Pros, man. I can't wait to see and read all of this in here. Seriously.
I've literally had to like. I think that I know that Will tries to trigger me like every episode too. Now.
Well, of course he does. He will.
Will fucking be like, so what do you think about this from the Greek mythology angle? I'm just like, I'm gonna not answer that, Will, because if I do that, Shay's gonna get mad at me and she'll put me in the green.
Right?
Like she hasn't had to do it yet, I don't think. But like I will go on a tirade.
Yeah, we've all got our triggers that you know will have us go on a tirade. You know, there it is.
Yeah,
beautiful, man. Dude, these are great. I'm excited. Can't wait to sit down with this, dude. I've got a stack of stuff that's come in that I need to read. So I'm just gonna have to sit down and just like maybe take a day or like a week and read everything.
Whatever you need, man. I got
right?
You. I am super excited for your feedback, and the next book is as I said, the story is twice as large. That book has 24 pages.
Yeah.
So like the next book, as I said, 54, and then if we hit 20K, 64 pages of story. I'm also including a character glossary in the next book, because that was one of the big things of feedback. I've been listening to every single ounce of feedback I've gotten on this book. And one of the things that I heard from a few people was like, this is really solid, but I had no fucking clue what was going on because I have no idea who any of these people are. And so that was like the thing is like, okay, that's pretty reasonable. I want this to be something that anybody can pick up. So in the next book, we're going to have a character glossary where it's like you'll get like kind of a profile shot of each character that's in it. And it will have like a little blurb that'll talk about what their role is in the story, if they have any really, and most importantly, what story they came from, so that you can go and learn more about those people.
That's awesome. And that, a glossary, when you've got a huge cast of characters, a glossary glossary of characters always helpful. I mean, and they're fun to do because, you can do like a really cool pinup of the character, but you can really go deep into like providing like, backstory if you want to. Sometimes it's more fun to get into the backstory through the story. You know what I mean?
And so when I do that character glossary, I'm gonna make sure that I don't give away shit, because like there are things that I want to put, like it'll effectively be me giving like the pseudo spark. Like you're not gonna get everything about like Achilles or Heracles or Theseus in the character glossary. There's going to be things that are alluded to, but I'm not going to take away how those characters' stories fit into mine. Because like all of those, I chose those characters specifically because of the stories that they are involved with, and I want them. I want to explore those stories in Elysian Fields in a way that is clever, and like I'm really excited because we're really going to get a chance to do that. Not Pyramid Gambit, in the following book, Pages of the Dead, is something that we're going to really explore how these characters' lives have led them to where they are in that book.
That sounds awesome. Speaking of that, let's actually take a look at your new campaign, Pyramid Gambit.
Hell yeah.
Dude, these are so pretty. I'm just kind of mesmerized by the shiny.
Dude, it's a tough act to follow, but I think we're gonna do it. We have a whole bunch of really cool stuff. I'm not sure if you had heard, but so we have I know that I've talked a lot about. We have a support our troops perk tier on this.
Right.
So our support our troops perk tier is a package, and you're gonna love this, Luke. So this package has an exclusive copy of the book with its own variant, done by Ted Lehman and Farah Nurmaliza. But that's not all, because I wanted to make sure that this was a worthy thing. So you get a unit patch, a challenge coin, and a pinup. And that pinup is done by none other than Justin Hunt, who is a cover artist for a book you might have heard of named Lady Death.
Maybe just a little bit.
Just a smidge. And so he to sweeten this deal on Indie Vault, when we were doing our live breakdown of the launch and what have you the other day, Justin upped the ante even more. So for the first 30 days during this initial campaign, every single person that gets this support our troops perk tier, I am sending all of their pinups to Justin, and he is going to sign and number them.
Nice, dude.
So you're getting a lot for that value. It's $50. $10 goes to the Special Forces Charitable Trust, who we are partnered with. Fantastic organization that supports not only the veterans of Special Forces, which is impressive in and of itself, but their families as well. And it's something that really resonated with me, because as much as we talk about support the troops and what have you, their families put as much on the line. Going overseas is just as difficult for them, because their loved ones are in harm's way, and that's a very stressful time. And so the Special Forces Charitable Trust raises money for like scholarships for these people's kids, relief funds for widows, you name it. And so that's a part of our support our troops package.
That's awesome,
and
man.
we have raised $140 so far for them. So keep it up, guys.
That's awesome.
You can do that either through the support our troops package or the whole enchilada, which collects everything. Also gets that because you get the 3 main covers and you get the support our troops package.
Awesome.
So
wow. Okay.
Both of those have it. There was somebody who did a large dollar amount and said that they wanted the whole enchilada, and so I'm taking. I'm doing the $10 from that, and I'm donating an extra 100 because they sent a pretty sizable chunk. And I'm taking an extra 100 from what they sent, and that's going to the SFCT as well, just in case anyone's looking at it. They're like, wait a second, there are only 3 perk tiers claimed for stuff like that. It actively is what's happening. We have raised $130, $140 for it.
That's fantastic, man. But I'm glad you're doing that. I mean, I know you're still active duty, right?
No, I got that. Thank goodness I got that out back in 2017.
Oh, okay.
I got to the end of my contract and they're like, "Hey, do you want to re-enlist?" And I laughed really, really, really hard.
Right.
And so they were like, "Well, fuck you too." And,
don't be salty. Of all the flavors, you chose to be salty. Damn.
But anyways, so yeah, we've had a pretty successful launch so far. We're hitting a little bit of a speed bump right now, but I'm fairly certain today's a payday for somebody. So freaking, hoping between being on here and being on Mandy's here in a little bit, we should be able to get that number up. We're so close to hitting that 2K goal. So please, if anyone's watching this and is looking for something to throw money at this Friday, make this it.
Absolutely. But Hail Leg Kick, what's up, brother? Thanks for hanging out and watching.
Thanks for hanging out.
Let's take a look at your at the video here for this campaign.
You're gonna get some pretty cool looks here.
When we left off in the Zero issue, Achilles had made his way from peace in the afterlife to an arena, where he was left to fight alongside King Theseus against the first heroes Gilgamesh and Enkidu. Achilles had begun this fight against arrogant Gilgamesh at the end of the Zero issue, and that's where we pick up in Elysian Fields at the Pyramid Gambit. In almost 60 pages of story, we see the new Team Hades form and begin their first round in the Abyssal Tournament of Champions together. Heracles, conqueror of the 12 labors, Theseus, slayer of the Minotaur, and Achilles, the hero of the Trojan War, must now face an opponent that has never been defeated before in this arena, the champion of Osiris, Imhotep. With the success of our first campaign, we were able to expand on this book in pretty much every way. We have doubled the size of the story, brought in talents like Kevin Sharp and Alonzo Espinosa from the Dragon Guard, Scott Rosema, and many more for various different covers and pinup. We're also extremely excited to announce our partnership with the Special Forces Charitable Trust, for whom we are raising funds by our Support Our Troops package. Not only will this package include an Indiegogo exclusive edition of the book with a cover by Ted Lehman and Farah Normaliza, but it will include a pinup by the very talented Justin Hunt, a UNIP patch, and a challenge book. $10 from every purchase of this tier will be donated to the Special Forces Charitable Trust. It not only helps the veterans of this very elite community of the American military, but their families as well.
Wow, dude.
Yeah.
That's a good video, man.
Yeah. Luke Stone kicks ass at doing those things. He's done both of my videos for both of my campaigns, and outside.
Very cool. Oh, I meant to. Whoops. I meant to just close the video
And you close the page. It's all good.
Well, no, I closed. I stopped sharing instead of just closing the video. I derped it. There we go.
It's all good. And so, like, for those of you guys that were fans of the that didn't get a chance to get the holofoils, we do have those available. I have 27 left.
Wow.
So get on there. And if you miss out on that, the end of that video, you saw that really nice, pretty cover art by Scott Rosema that's all sparkly and shiny to make up for the fact that I can't do a holofoil on hardcover.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Yeah, so we're doing a hardcover deluxe edition that's a limited print, 100 copies. And it collects the 0 issue, Pyramid Gambit, obviously has that character glossary, and it has an extensive art gallery with all the character designs, all the variant covers stretching back from the 0 issue to now. A whole bunch of really good stuff.
Wow. That sounds great. Everybody's is digging on the hardcovers.
Yeah, well,
Vinny did a hardcover, and I love it. It's beautiful.
Ironically, I got my copy of Into the Woods from Vinny Tarmella, and I was like, dude, this fucking hardcover is vicious.
Isn't it beautiful?
Who did you have print this? And he gave me all that information. I was like, I went and I looked, and I was like, oh man, that's doable. And so I was like, fuck yeah, totally.
Putting out high quality material, man. That's what it's all about. Telling stories that we want to tell and putting out high quality material. It's fantastic. All right, so you guys have seen just how pretty these books are. So if you missed it on that go around, you can get it this time. See, I got 2 of them. You can't have mine.
Yeah, and they will all come. They all come signed and with one of those Jim O'Reilly pinups.
Yeah, that pinup's great, man. There's a lot of power and movement in it. I like it. Yeah. Yeah, sorry, I'm getting distracted. Anyway. So,
yeah, I told once you start looking at that fucking thing, it's just like, all right, I need to look more.
A lot of good line work. So this is the main cover. Let's see.
Yeah, nobody's gotten it. It blows my mind. So like a few people have gotten my cover, which is like I'm super humbled by, but like Marcelo's cover is way better. But yeah, and then no surprise, the Dragon Guard variant is like the highest selling one, with 9 claims now.
Mean, it's real pretty. That's real pretty.
Yeah, no, like it's really good. And then I think the next after that is that Scott Rosema hardcover deluxe edition. And so I took a lot of advice. When I was on Mandy's stream at the end of the last campaign, people were yelling at me that I didn't have enough high-priced perk tiers and like original art and stuff. And so, well, now you guys have what you asked for. So this one, the Justin Hutton original Warcry art, is his pinup. He is giving me the original art for that to sell. Now, this one isn't going to me. 100% of the price of purchase will be going to the Special Forces Charitable Trust. Again, this is something that I'm really invested in, and I really want to help their mission. So that's a big one. Then we have the Scott Rosema original art for 900, which were his original pencils, and they're gorgeous.
Oh, that's the image you're going to use for the hardcover.
Yep, that's the hardcover one.
Wow.
And then we have
do we have a picture of those pencils down here somewhere?
no, but I should you know what? I should probably add that.
Yeah, dude, I want to see that. Anyway.
I had that up there initially, but then when I got the colored version, I was like, go put the colored one up. So like,
I mean, the colored one's beautiful. It reminds me of old school, you know, like D&D comics.
And
like the coloring.
That's what he was going for, and
okay,
it's fucking phenomenal. And if you notice there, the silhouette that's back there, that purple silhouette, is our version of Hades. So it ties our team Hades together there, and it's fantastic. Scott really just did a great job on that.
Yeah, you should definitely add the pencils of that.
Yeah. And then the Kevin Sharp art we have up there for 700. Because I mean, speaks for itself.
Joe is a cool cover.
Yeah, and so then we have Joe Tolliver, who did the pinup. That is, if you signed up for the mailing list, you're getting that pinup for free. He hasn't finished it yet. I don't have an image of it yet. That's why it's not up.
Okay.
It's not me just being like, yeah, I'm a dick. I'm not going to put up the image. It's we're doing a live reveal of that here next Tuesday. He's finishing up over the weekend. So make sure you're staying tuned for that. He's the host of Comics Cast. Fantastic guy and an even better artist. And he's been posting up progress on it, and the pencils look phenomenal. But his inking so far has looked great. But I haven't seen the finished product, and I even told him, I was like, do not fucking show me that thing until we reveal. Like, I want to be just as surprised
along with everybody else, huh?
Yeah, I want to be just as surprised as everyone else.
Nice.
And then we also have a retailer perk. I partnered with Varian Grant, who just launched Liberty Distribution. And so all of the retailers that purchase this, they get the Liberty guarantee. I'm not sure if you've seen Varian's thing, but his the Liberty boxes are fucking awesome. They're actively designed for distributing, multiple books to retailers. They ensure that every single book is bagged and bordered with a personalized board that advertises Liberty Distribution. It looks fucking sick. And then their boxes come with bubble wrap encasing all the books. They go out of their way to make sure that the product is protected. And that's why I went with them, because I have a reputation to uphold. I got all of the books out there in perfect and pristine condition, and I want to keep that up. And so we offered a 55% markdown on cover for the retailers here, because I know that times have been tough over the past year. And the other thing that we're doing is, let's say a store really likes what we have to offer and they want more than the 9 books that we're offering. What we're effectively going to be doing is we will, if you guys let us know like how many books you want, how much of each cover you'd like, we will invoice you and be like, all right, so this is the cost of the retailer perk. You purchase that. And then when we go off of that we maintain that 55% markdown on cover, and we let you know this is how much it would be for the amount of books you're asking. And then you would donate the difference to the monetary amount up there, and we'd have that invoice, and I'd put that in my spreadsheet. And so that's what you'd be getting.
Fantastic, man. That's awesome. That's a huge deal to be able to, get these books into stores as well. I don't know if you've been on one of the shows where Gabe Gully pops into the chat. That's one of my regulars at the comic shop. Like he's a homie. He loves good comics, man. He's like us. He lives, eats, and breathes this stuff. Like this is what he loves to do. So he likes to get a lot of different books, but he likes to read good stuff, man. And that's what we're all after. We're all after putting out as high a quality as we can, entertaining stories, and being able to get this stuff into stores would be fucking fantastic.
And that's what I want, because like at the end of the day, crowdfunding is great, and it's how I'm going to build this. But at the end of the day, as much as I'm an independent creator, I've also started, like, Nine Realms Publishing is my publishing imprint.
Yeah.
And the ultimate goal is, we do crowdfunding to kind of get the project to where it needs to be and get the production and everything.
Yeah.
The way that we're as a publishing company, that I really start to make the money is if retailers are ordering bulk copies of books. And so I'm trying to start that relationship early. I want it to be that stores look forward to seeing something with the Nine Realms brand on it. I want it to be a whole thing where they're like, hey, what projects you got coming up this year? And so that's what we're doing, is I want to create this dynamic with stores right off the bat. This is our second campaign. I've been going around to a few of the local stores near me, and trying to talk some stuff out. I think I've got one store that will probably carry it near me. And then, we offered a retailer book towards the tail end of the Zero issue, and we had a few, online retailers get it, and then we had one store in Pittsburgh get it, and the store in Pittsburgh's pretty much sold out of all of our Zero issues. The holofoil went in the first day, which didn't surprise me. The retailer perk on that,
man. It came out really beautiful, dude. I love the holofoil.
Yeah, no, it's literally, we've gotten a lot of really positive reviews, but like as much praise as we've gotten on like the story and the artwork, the big thing has been but let's talk about the real show stealer here in presentation, because holy fuck, the holofoil.
Mm-hmm. Seriously.
It's like you get that meme of the guy that does like aliens, and it's like everybody going holofoil.
Totally. Yeah. I'm glad that people are using holofoil.
And Hero Design did a great job on that. And they actually, not to plug them or anything, but if anybody is looking at doing that kind of cover, all of their holofoil purchases come back and boarded, no charge.
Right. Yeah, no, these showed up in pristine condition, man. They're pristine. Spine looks great. Corners are beautiful.
Yep, they did a fantastic job. I did have like one or two books that had some wrinkles on the spining, and of course I didn't send those out to anyone. I'm not freaking. Sure. But like, in fact, actually, one of them did end up getting to the retailer in Pittsburgh, and I immediately went, give me like a day, and I went, I got it express. I got them another copy express shipped. I was like, that's unacceptable. I've caught most, like I caught the other two. So for me, it was just like, yeah, that's not okay. I'm getting you a fresh book.
Nice.
And we got it to them, and it's gone.
There we go. You know,
like, they're all gone. They sold out real quick.
Oh, you jumped from the last time I looked, dude. You were at 1355. You're now at 1365.
Woo! We're doing good work.
Yeah.
That's what I like to see.
$7, man. Awesome. You know, I can't wait. I can't wait to get the next one, man.
Yeah,
I can't wait to read this one.
We're really excited to get that next one to you, man. Like, as I said, you know, this has been such a fantastic process, and honestly, doing this book has helped me out a lot more. Like, you know,
how long is the story in your head? Like, do you have like multiple?
Dude, to give you an idea.
Yeah.
Tournament book, okay. Pyramid Gambit gets you halfway through the first full round of the tournament that you get to see.
Okay.
Like, there's Imhotep at the end of Pyramid Gambit. And that's 54 pages of story. Like just to give.
What you're telling me is this: there's a long story. There's a lot of story.
There's a huge longevity to it. I will tell. The only big thing I will say is the semi-final round is going to be the one that everyone's going to wait for, and that's Norse versus Greek. Team Valhalla versus Team Hades is going to be the semi-final round.
All right. I mean, you gotta say something to tease people with, right?
Exactly. No, and I actually there are 2 people that have helped promote this Elysian Fields that I'm going to be using as likenesses for Odin and Freya. So they're pretty excited.
Awesome.
I'll wait. One of them is someone we both know, and I'm not going to announce that without them. So
fair enough. You've been found, lights.
Yeah. Well, they're probably helping me out because it was starting to get dark. Like we did this during that awkward time period where it's like sun is starting to set, but there's still plenty of light, and now it's getting dark. So I don't want to come off as that hermit in their just like in their little hovel going like, yes, leave me alone.
What are you trying to say?
You have a desk. You have a desk. You don't get to claim hermit status. You
haven't
lit by the
cave I live in, dude.
Yes, let me write my sad ode to Edgar Allan Poe in the dark while the computer is the only thing that lights my face.
I resemble that remark sometimes.
Sad, very sad.
All right, so we were having a conversation in the green room about Superman, and it's pretty well documented that my opinion is Superman is a boring character. There isn't a lot to do with him unless you want to have somebody that's like a world breaker like he is, and then it just becomes destruction porn.
That's where I disagree. Like, so that's effectively how I viewed Superman for most of my life. Mm-hmm. Okay, I grew up. My brothers were big into Marvel. My favorite superhero is Captain America. Like Marvel was where I was as a kid. The only things from DC that I really loved were like Batman the Animated Series, Justice League Unlimited. But growing up, I looked at Superman and I was like, this character sucks. How can you write a character that has every power under the sun? You've made every storyline a foregone conclusion, right? And that's ultimately where a lot of these criticisms of Superman lie. And it's ironic because like now I have such a drastically different vision of viewpoint on these things than I did. But the first time I really saw something with Superman and was just like, okay, this is interesting, and got me into it was, and this is going to be really funny because we were bashing it in the green room. And Christopher C in the chat actually just kind of got into what I'm about to go into. So Zack Snyder's Man of Steel was the first time I ever watched anything and been like, okay, that's actually pretty interesting. And then I started going into reading Superman books. And it's funny because my opinion of Man of Steel, movies like Man of Steel and Batman versus Superman have like consistently progressed the more I've read, in particular Superman books, and then I go back and rewatch it and realize, man, you guys fucked this up.
Listen, every time they do a Superman movie, I honestly try to go in with like, no expectations. I try to like it. Like I tried to like that abomination that Bryan Singer tried to pass off as a fucking Superman movie.
Okay, so to be fair, Superman Returns is not a movie. It's a fan fiction of Christopher Reeve. That's literally what it like. Not, 3/4 of that film's dialogue isn't even original dialogue. It's nods to the 1978 Christopher Reeve Superman. That's literally all it is. And
I realized that Christopher. I realize that Kevin Spacey is mud now, but like back then he was a highly sought after actor. Why do you hire him to play a villain, like one of the biggest A-list villains in history of comicdom? Why do you hire this actor and then tell him to act exactly like Gene Hackman?
Because again, they weren't trying to make a new Superman movie. They were literally just trying to cash a check on Christopher Reeve's Superman.
Fucking pastiche at that point.
But it doesn't, like, I understand where you're coming from, but you have to realize that Hollywood, and even to this day, despite the success that superhero films have had, has no fucking respect for comic books. So they've looked down their nose at us for fucking years. So like, yes, he's talking about
Doomsday.
Yeah. But this is the big thing that I found when I started reading actual Superman, because like it would start off where I read stuff that was fairly similar to what Snyder did in his movie, albeit a bit better executed, with things like Superman, Earth One, and what have you. But then you start to get to the books like All Star Superman, Grant Morrison. I
picked up the first issue of that. I have a problem with Frank Quitely's duck lips on everything. Like, dude, come on! Not everybody has to have fucking duck lips. Seriously,
I'm going to tell you that is one of those books where the art starts off very jarring for me, but by the end of it, I just love the whole package. And a lot of that has to do with, if you have somebody that can really fucking write, you can take art and elevate it. And that's what happens in All Star. Because All Star is this beautiful love letter. I don't want Nicolas Cage as Superman at all. That's a whole other discussion. But like, so the whole thing with Superman is.
Dude, have you seen those pictures? They're fucking terrifying.
Bad. But so like the big thing with Superman is that you don't make it like a destruction porn. You don't make it any of that stuff. You make it character focused, because the thing that's intriguing about Superman isn't the fact that he has all the powers under the sun. It's the fact that despite having all of that, he's Clark Kent. Like Kal-El is just as much of a alter ego as Superman is. The people that know Superman know him as Clark.
No.
Lois knows him as calls him Smallville. Bruce calls him Clark. Diana calls him Clark. Despite all of this, he sees himself as human. Despite having that power, he identifies with the best in us. And that's the whole thing, is that's why he's the man of tomorrow. And it's really funny because about a year and a half ago, they released a Marv Wolfman 100-page super spectacular Superman story that he had done initially for this Superman anthology series that they had done a while ago, that they just never published his book. And Marv starts off with, it builds up with a hype crazy, when in the first, his like introductory letter on the book, he's like, I'm going to be honest with you, I think this is the best Superman comic or any comic that I've ever written. And he's right on the fucking money. It lives up. And what it does is it is the perfect 0 year of Superman. It is Clark Kent living in Metropolis, and he's not sure if he's ready to be Superman. And he's struggling to like he's living in a shit apartment. He is getting rejected from all these papers because he doesn't have a name for himself, and he isn't writing these shitty puff piece things to bring in viewership. Right? The Daily Planet won't even fucking look at him because he's a nobody. And then the papers he is getting jobs with, they're like, yeah, we want you to write crazy shit. Like, we want you to write tabloid. And that's, Clark is at his fucking core, truth, justice, and the American way. That's not what he's about. And so, you know, he's doing things like he's working a side job as a janitor. And you have these like series of arsons that are going around Metropolis, and he's trying to help out with that. But the more he gets involved with that, the more people think that he's the one fucking causing the arsons. And so, like, he's just completely weighed down by these very human struggles, and it's this journey of him becoming the person that is Clark, that is Clark Kent, mild-mannered reporter, that is Superman. And it's phenomenal. And that's where you go, is you focus on these human elements. And then when you want to do those big action pieces, fucking, you know this, I have no love for Tom King. Tom King wrote one of the best Superman books in the past 10 years. Up in the Sky is fucking beautiful. And the reason why is he is able to give you those big action set pieces, but the core of its story is so integral to Superman because it's simple. A little girl has been kidnapped and has been taken across the universe. Superman is chasing after them and is going out of his way. And every single time that he gets a step closer, it's almost like it harkens back to like the 12 labors of Hercules. Superman isn't fighting a singular bad guy. He's overcoming obstacles that are constantly being put in his way. And even when these things seem impossible and that he has no way of completing them, it's, that girl's not home yet. I'm not done. And he pushes through. There's a fucking, I think it's the second or third issue of it. He's in this boxing match with this guy named Mido. And Mido's whole thing is
in that cover, actually.
And Andy Kubert does the art, and it's fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
It's fucking fantastic. He always has been.
So like the whole thing is that this guy has challenged Superman to a boxing match. He's like, oh, if we were in a full-on fight where you were allowed to do everything that you can do, I wouldn't stand a chance. But here in the boxing ring, I know your limits. I know your limit. And he's constantly saying that throughout the fight. It's like, oh, you're gonna fold. You're gonna fold. And and Superman's taking an ass kicking, like, but then it gets to a point where like Mido starts to get fucking tired, and he's like, "You're gonna quit. You're gonna quit." He's like, "Do I have that girl yet? Have I taken her home yet? No. Excuse you. You don't fucking know me at all. I'm not quitting until that girl is safe." And you're just like, "Fuck yeah!"
Right.
That's the way that you handle those things. Is that you focus on the thing that makes Superman what he is, his heart. Because at the end of the day, despite the bulletproof skin, despite flying faster than the speed of light, despite being able to punch a planet in half, despite any of that, Clark Kent is human. And that's what he believes. And that's what he tries to instill in everybody, that everybody can make that difference in the world if they apply it. That's why Superman doesn't kill. That's why he doesn't. Specifically, he doesn't kill human adversaries. Like, he'll go all out against someone like Darkseid or anything like that because they're a threat to humanity and there's no redemption. But even with Lex Luthor, the reason why Clark Kent won't kill Lex is because look at an intellect like Lex Luthor. If we give up on someone like that, Lex is one of the most intelligent people in the world that is constantly wasting his intelligence to try and kill Superman. If he took that intellect and applied it to something like, I don't know, trying to cure cancer,
space travel, something like that, yeah.
Like the difference.
Instead of being a Wile E. Coyote.
And that's something that comes up in All-Star Superman. That's what happens at the very end, is because Lex gets this ability to have Superman's powers. And as they're starting to fade, he starts to really notice how Superman sees the world. And he gets angry at Superman, and he says, if it weren't for you, I could have saved the world. And Superman's reply is beautiful. He says, Lex, you could have saved the world at any point if you wanted to, but you chose not to.
Yeah.
And Lex breaks down because he knows he's right.
Yeah.
If he hadn't wasted all this time on a worthless vendetta and he had applied himself, he could have been the savior he always wanted to be and always could have been. And that's the point of doing a good Superman story, is getting Superman in that position where he is showcasing the best that humanity can be in himself and trying to inspire others. And that's where you get a good Superman story. It's not about how hard this fucker can punch, you know? Like, it's not. And his fashion sense, green and purple, yes. But like, it's not about any of that. It's about the fact that despite, you know, all of our faults and what have you, Superman believes in the fact that sees us from the best version of ourselves that we can be, and he believes in that. A few years ago, they did a holiday special for DC, and it was really good. And one of the stories was Superman's like on his way to go pick up Lois and John and go off on like a Christmas vacation with him, and there's a guy that's robbing a bank, and he's made his own jetpack. But like it out of garage stuff, and he's only robbing the bank because he's going through a divorce. He can't get ahead. He can't get a job, and so Superman stops him, and this guy's like, I didn't want to hurt anybody, and he's kind of like freaking out, and Superman's just going, you made a jetpack out of shit in your garage, and like, this is what's going to happen. I have to take you in. You broke the law. You did a crime. You have to pay the penalty for that. When you get out, you go to Star Labs and you tell them that I sent you. If they have any questions, I will vouch for you, and I will make sure you get a job. That's Superman. And that's how you handle him. He's not this fucking emotionless dude that just sits there and pouts at people while he fucking saves them. He sees someone hurting and he smiles at them. He gives them comfort. Like, I think that's one of the big things. I was like, Superman is meant to inspire. He's meant to instill hope.
Right.
And
well, think about the time period he was made in. Of course,
yeah, it was the goal.
Captain America, probably at the same time period.
Yeah, exactly. But the thing is that nobody had, like, you have so many people that approach Superman with that same mentality. Whoa, fuck, he's not interesting. And it just goes to show, like, none of you guys have read Superman. Because if you read, and don't get me wrong, plenty of writers have handled him, and it has been shit. When you have a bad Superman writer, it shows. Because that's what they make it. They either make it destruction porn, or Superman is just wildly inconsistent. He goes from being a character to being a plot device.
Yeah.
And like that's the big difference, is when you have someone that understands the character, Superman's books will blow people away. That's why I recommend things like, you know, All-Star Superman. Is to date my favorite Superman book ever. If you want a great point to be like, hey, I want to kind of start reading Superman, read Man and Superman. You're going to get a beautiful deconstruction of the character that'll make you empathize with him. Man and Superman is what Man of Steel should have been. 100%. And the beautiful thing about Man and Superman is that you don't even see Clark in the Superman costume as Superman in the entire book. It is a focus on Clark Kent and his journey to becoming that. You see a confrontation between Superman and Lex at the end, but you do not see him in the costume. You see the silhouette of Superman hovering over Lex Luthor, telling him, I'm watching you, and you're going to make a mistake one day, and when you do, I'm bringing you down. And it's fucking incredible.
Okay.
Great book. And like you can get it for really cheap too. I think it's like $10-15. Like it's a 100-page story by fucking Marv Wolfman. It's brilliant.
Marv was such a fucking fantastic writer. Just
he is.
Stuff he did. He was fantastic. I think probably my favorite Superman story to date is the what was it? The Secret Identity or something like that, where it's a kid named Clark Kent and he lives in Kansas and everybody says, "Hey Superman, what's up?" And then one night he's out in the cornfield and he just starts flying and he realizes that he has Superman's powers. Like that was a neat twist on it. And of course,
I really cool. I don't think I've read that, but I'll definitely go take the look at that.
I'll see if I can find the cover for it. The other one, of course, is Superman Red Sun. I thought that was pretty fucking gas.
I did not like Red Sun at all. It's one of those things where the issue that I have with Mark Millar's Red Sun, and it was something that was actually resolved in the animated adaptation of it, is that Mark Millar tries to keep Superman being Superman while being the right hand to Stalin. And those two things do not mix. You cannot have somebody who is trying to be an altruist and is just trying to help everybody when he is allowing a dictator to murder a quarter of his populace. It does not work that way.
It's the whole nature versus nurture thing, I think, is what Millar was going for.
This is how they fix this in the Superman Red Sun animated adaptation. Stalin kept all that shit. In the animated one, Stalin kept it all secret, and Superman finds out about it and then kills Stalin. And the entire rest of the movie is Superman trying to be the Soviet premier and not become the monster Stalin was. Much better angle. Much better angle than that fucking.
All right, I'll have to watch the animated then.
I've been shitting on DC's animation department for a while because I don't think that they've lived up to the gold standard they used to have. But that movie was fucking good. It was so good, in fact, that when I watched it, I was like, man, maybe I just read Red Sun during like a bad time in my life, I guess. I'm gonna go give it another chance. I got 3 pages into it. Nope, it's just as I fucking remembered it being. And so I didn't touch it.
This book, Superman Secret Identity, 4-issue miniseries of 48 pages each in prestige format, written by Kurt Busiek and illustrated by Stuart Immonen.
I mean, you've got me sold. Stuart Immonen's art is really good.
I know, right? He's so good, man. Look at the body language on this cover right here. Okay, terribly small picture. Thanks, Wikipedia. Appreciate you. Let's see. Can we zoom? Is there a zoom? Oh, there we go. Anyway, look at the body language on this figure right here. And he's floating off the ground. Yeah, this book.
It's really pretty. I'm trying to find you something.
Well, Kurt Busiek knows how to write good superheroes, man. Like he's got an ear for dialogue as well. Like he's a good writer. I mean, I love this. All right, and this is, like I said, this is coming from a guy that doesn't like Superman. I read this, I was like, all right, this was pretty cool. So, and the whole thing that you were saying, like looking at him from a human perspective and like telling the very human stories with this godlike character, I get that. You know, that's kind of what this was doing. Can I figure out how to get back? Yeah. But yeah, so man, this came out in 2004.
I can't find the panel I wanted to show you from Man and Superman, but I am gonna bring up in the Sky art really quick. But to go into that, there's one scene that
I always show Andy Kubert artwork. Love that dude.
Love
Adam too.
Just this fucking thing.
You would be amazed at a person's ability to rationalize. Yeah.
Their screen. I'll show these tips again.
You ain't wrong. There it is.
Yeah. So just look at that. I wish it would allow me to like kind of push that up a bit. But like this is him saying like I know you, I know your limits, and I know mine. And pal, I'm telling you, you're gonna break yours first. So what that means is you're going to get beat. And so like this is kind of what he's saying to him like the entire freaking time. And Superman getting his ass kicked. Actually, I want to show this. Hold on, get this up there. God. Just look at that. Look at like this was the page that got me into because Tom King shared the pencils and inks of this one, and just look at the intensity on Superman's face.
Dude, Andy's incredible, man. He's always been good at those big wide shots and getting that curvilinear perspective, like in the background. No. Like look how it points directly at the two figures to emphasize them. He's a fucking master storyteller, man. I love his work.
This was such a great thing. And then you look at the fucking cover of this bad boy.
Mm-hmm.
It was so good.
Yeah, with the gloves on, it kind of harkens back to the whole Superman versus Muhammad Ali. Yeah.
Well, and that's actively I think what they were going for with that. But like it was just fantastic. And then honestly, if I were to do like Superman films, if they're like, hey, we want you to direct a trilogy of Superman films for whatever fucking reason, even though I have no experience in it, I'd be like, so the first movie would be Man and Superman. The second movie would be Up in the Sky. And then I'd have to do something. I'd probably do something like All-Star for the third. And I'd make them loosely tied together, but I would make it so that each film stood on their own as well.
Well, each film should stand on its own, but you can have the interconnectivity.
Yeah. So the beauty of Man and Superman though, like if you genuinely want a book that I feel will change your perspective on Superman, definitely Marv Wolfman, Man and Superman. Like they're just fucking beautiful.
I mean, you don't have to sell real hard with Marv Wolfman.
I know, but like there's this beautiful scene. He is, as I said, he picked up a job as a janitor, and so he's working. Right. One of his janitor buddies has freaking found his notebook and is reading his stuff out loud. And like Clark has the most fucking human reaction. He's like, "No, please stop. I hate it when I hear other people read my stuff aloud. It's not done yet." And he's kind of like freaking out. And the guy's reading is like, "This is really good." And he's like, "It's what I want to do. I want to become a journalist." He was like, I've been good. And he's padding it because he's having this interaction. He doesn't want to give away anything. But he's like, I growing up, I had a lot of things that I just had, I was already good at a lot of things, but writing was the one thing that I had to work at to be good. It was the one thing that I feel like was actually mine. Mm-hmm. And you're just like, holy shit.
That's cool.
That's really good.
Yeah. No, that's a cool angle to come at that. Like, and that also, informs his character for the audience. Yeah. Very cool. All right. I mean, I'm perfectly willing to give it a shot. I'm perfectly willing to find something that will, make me think Superman's cool. And
that was always my big thing. I think the other big story that I read that really aided me in falling in love with Superman. And every single time, and especially now that I'm a dad, when I've gone back and read it, I love it even more. Was the Tomasi run of Superman on Rebirth, where he has his son John. Because the thing that I loved about that was like, yeah, you know, Superman is world's #1 superhero, but he's a dad. Nobody's perfect at that. There are times where he does really good. There are times where he falls short. Because there's no perfect way to parent. Superman does the best that he can, but you know, there are times where you're gonna have fights with your kids. There are times where you're gonna have where your kid does something, they mess up, and you got to make them face consequences. And the way that Tomasi handled that, and Superman's relationship with John was really.
That was on Super Sons.
Super Sons was a spinoff from it, and Super Sons by Peter J. Tomasi is also one of my favorite fucking books because Damian Wayne, it made me like Damian Wayne. I hated Damian prior to Super Sons.
Not familiar with either. I do know Art T-Bear was working on that book. He was doing the inks.
Super Sons?
Yep, he was on Super Sons. Yep.
Well, I mean, I'll have to geek out about that because I loved that book. And I was really pissed that they brought in Bendis and fucked over Peter J. Tomasi and his entire team and everyone. And their whole thing was, here, Peter, you can
what?
but it's a mini series. And so he was just like, okay, fuck you guys.
I miss when Bendis was good, man. Like back in the day when he was writing Alias for Marvel Max, and
when
like
he did his
first run of Alias back then was fucking great.
Well,
and you know I discovered his indie shit after that, and you know, have you ever read Boys and Elves?
I haven't, but I'll definitely put that on.
It was an indie book published by Drew Hayes, and there was a faux feud between Drew Hayes and Bendis because they were both indie comic book publishers, right? And I don't know, man. With I mean, amazing career trajectory, but I feel like Bendis's writing kind of just got really soft and pliable.
It's called complacency, Luke. It kills. And this isn't just happened to Bendis. It happened to Wade. It happened to the whole thing is that the moment that these guys got to a point where they knew that they never had to worry for work again, they stopped writing good books.
And that's the whole fucking reason why we do this? Are we doing this so we can cash a fucking paycheck? Like
there is a business element to it for sure, but like the fact of the matter is that the moment that they got to the point where they knew they would never be out of work again, they became complacent, and they got rid of their nuance. And that's the whole thing. That's why when I listen to people like, I wish books were more apolitical. It's like, no, I'm fine with politics. It just has to be nuanced. It has to be. It has to aid in the storytelling, and that's where the
there for a reason, not just like
exactly.
It's like an unsolicited dick pic. How about that?
No, 100%. No, it's that's the whole thing is that there have been so many Dark Knight Returns, heavily political. Everything ever written by Alan Moore, heavily.
Alan Moore had something to say.
The difference is that, and we've actually, this was one of the first times I was on Writing Pros, we talked about it, and it's one of those things where the difference between having a politics in a book and turning it into a soapbox is if you have your politics in a book and it's a conversation between the characters that allows for the reader to make their own informed decision and their own opinion about what the artist is trying to say, that's expression. The moment that your character effectively winks and nods at the fucking consumer and says, this is what you should be believing, that's when it becomes problematic. And that's what you saw happen to people like Wade, people like Bendis, where it became, well, my politics matter more than my ability to write stories. And I've made enough at this point where I don't have to work. Fucking Bendis is out in December. You want to know what he's doing? He's fucking killing off all these people in the super family. He's doing the exact same fucking thing he did at Marvel. He is destroying everything that he did before he left. Before he and is just saying fuck you because effectively AT&T came in and was like, you aren't returning any of the investment that was you at all. You're going. And so Bendis is leaving, and I think he's going to Mark Waid's publishing company, which is super fucking funny, since Mark Waid is for some reason coming back and writing a new Teen Titans story to tie into death metal, and I'm just like, this is a fucking mess.
Let me keep laughing because every time I hear the title death metal, it makes me laugh big time.
And
Eric McIntyre, what's cracking, homies? Good to see you.
But yeah, it's one of those things. It's a big shame because like, those guys, they can fucking write. We know they can write. You know, back when the Eisner meant something, fucking how many times did Bendis run the Eisner for his Daredevil run?
Well, it's because his Daredevil run actually had fucking heart. It had substance. It had soul.
Yeah.
You know, it also had, David Mack covers, and it had Alex Maleev doing the artwork, which. But
like that's the thing is that at the end of the day, like you can have great art, and if you don't have the good story to accompany it, there's only so much.
I agree. I picked a book out of previews simply because Ali Garza was, at least I think it was Ali, did pencils on something, and it was a little independent book, and I was like, cool, I'll check this out. Dude, that story was so bad. I was like, I just look at the picture, I was like, man, these pages are great. The story is so bad.
And that's the whole thing is like there's all like you need, but like you cannot rely solely on art. You have to there has to be
a visual medium. It's a visual storytelling. There's got to be story to it, otherwise it falls flat. You know, it can't just be. It's like a cart with only one wheel. You got to have both wheels functioning.
Like, a perfect example. There's this book. A perfect example of this. There's this indie book called Stellar Odyssey. I got to read it. I do freelance writing for Up Your Geek. I write reviews on comics, I write reviews on films, exposés, you name it. Like I do a lot of that stuff, and that's how I got into this industry. And my editor sent me.
That's fucking hilarious, dude.
I don't even know how to react to that. The preppy guy gave a fucking lecture on Superman, a sermon on Superman. Fuck, man. I'm not that preppy. I'm not. I was
great.
I was literally listening to Isles and Glaciers earlier. Not that much of a prepster.
It's the collared shirt, man. I mean,
but it's great. It's great. It's still dark colors. It's still okay.
Dude, I know the struggle. But since I don't have to wear that kind of stuff anymore.
Christopher is telling me that he loves me.
And I can still have all this. So.
But so going back to Stellar Odyssey was the first indie book that I read that wasn't an indie creator like being like, hey, I would love for you to review my book. And so it was my editor being like, hey, we have this indie comic. You've been doing a lot of indie comic reviews and they've been really good. Do you want to check this one out? I was like, fuck yeah. And the art was gorgeous. I'm not sure if you've ever read Harlan Buck Freesword, but one of the artists was Dino Agor, who does the art from that, and he's phenomenal. I do want to acknowledge Christopher C. I see your love, and I love you too, man. It's all good.
Well, I mean, he did get chubby, after the sermon, like he, it's like that's the part that made me uncomfortable.
But anyways, so my editor sends me it, and I read the first. So it wasn't marketed as this, but it was effectively an anthology book, right? So I read the first story, and it's really intriguing. It's got a great setup, but then all of a sudden, these characters just get swapped out for another set of characters, and I'm like, well, that's not okay. But I was like, okay, well, these guys were mentioned in the first story, so maybe we'll go back or something. And then I read the second story, and I was like, this is okay, but it's not as good as the first one. And then we have another change up of characters, and I'm like, well, what the fuck is going on? Because all these characters are united in the center of the cover. What's going on? Are these characters connected to one another? And so I get about halfway through the third story, and I'm just getting frustrated, and I look, and sure enough, there's a fourth fucking story. This is in a 25-page comic book.
That's not a lot of room to tell a story.
There were 4 to 5 pages per one of these fucking stories. And so they were all brilliantly
comical,
very well lettered.
Yeah.
But there was also 3 different writers.
Ooh, man, that just made my head hurt.
I was just like, are you fucking serious? A review. I straight up, I hit up my editor, and I was just like, do you want me to be honest about this? And he was just, no.
How honest do you want me to be about this?
I was like, because like I don't do puff pieces. Like he's like, we don't do puff pieces here at Upper Geek. I want you to tell it how it is. Like, okay, let them know they're gonna be really unhappy. And like,
hey, fair warning.
It was really funny because like up until this point, like all of the indie books that I read have been fantastic, and so I gushed about them in my reviews, and so I put this review up, and I get like 3 messages from the guys that I had done reviews for, and they're like, I just saw your Stellar Odyssey review. I really appreciate your review like 1,000,000 times more now, because I don't even want to be those guys right now. And like I wasn't like, when I write, I like, especially if I'm giving criticisms, I was in the Army. So the way I see it is, if you do bad, I'm going to break it down kind of like an AAR, which is an after action review. 3 sustains, 3 improves. And all of my I talked about like the things that were handled well, but like my big thing was like, you guys have shot yourself in the foot. And I remember I had this line. I was like, if you haven't picked up, I have not said a single character name during this entire thing, and that is because I could not tell you who any of these protagonists are, because I didn't get enough time with any of them, and that is a problem. You didn't market your book as an anthology, and you only had 25 pages. You should not have had this many stories. You should have focused on one set of like 1 or 2 sets of these characters so they could really get a chance to thrive. But you didn't do that, and that has destroyed you. And that's the whole thing. Is like, at the end of the day, a book can be fucking gorgeous, brilliantly drawn, brilliantly lettered, everything. But if you have ass clowns writing,
yeah,
hell, fucking all-star Batman and Robin with Frank Miller and Jim Lee.
Yeah.
Jim Lee's art's beautiful. It's really good. It's some of the best he's ever done, because he was really excited to work with Frank Miller. And then you read the book.
I'm the goddamn Batman. Yes, Grandpa, you've said that a couple times now.
And not sure how comfortable I feel with Batman, like freaking having sex with Black Canary in front of Robin in a dark alley.
Oh, that's right. Robin was like, oh wow, I totally forgot about
Yeah,
that.
yeah. So indecent exposure.
Batman's like,
Best
that
case
superhero was
scenario.
done, boy.
Like indecent exposure, best case
I like
scenario.
Batman. What?
Sexual assault to a minor on work.
Jesus, man. What?
So like it
Wait. I thought he didn't know that Robin was there. Thought he.
doesn't matter. Frank Miller put that in his script and said, yes, this is what I want in my comic. I want Robin to watch from the alley while Batman raw dogs Black Canary in costume.
Why, Frank? What are you doing? This isn't Sin City.
It's like, why can't we at least have Batman pull out a bat condom? No, has to be raw dog.
Well, dude, it's like on TV, you know. Nobody ever they never pause for protection on TV, so that's what he was going for.
It doesn't matter. It's just
whatever.
The sheer vulgarity.
I think the dialogue was the bigger problem. Like, yes, that's a fucking
like,
ridiculous
and then
scene.
Look at like the training sequences. Batman just throws Robin down into a well. It's like, figure it out. Starve and eat rats. What the fuck?
Are we sure this isn't Bane pretending to be Batman?
It's like, I get that this is supposed to be in continuity with fucking The Dark Knight Returns, but like when you read this, it's like, no shit, Dick Grayson quit. Like,
that's right. At the beginning of Dark Knight, he's like, yeah, they all. No wonder you're an asshole.
No wonder why he became the Joker and the fucking Dark Knight Strikes Again. Dark Knight Strikes Again is amplified by All-Star Batman and Robin. Just like, man, that kid watched Batman hump Black Canary from the outside of an alley and was just uncomfortable there. I'd probably become a psychopath, especially after I was just fucking starved and thrown into a well and I had to had to hunt rats. And apparently Alfred just didn't give a shit about that. So it's just like, yep, I'm going to burn it all to the ground.
This is superheroine. Batman was just teaching Robin that you got to go raw sometimes. You have to eat sushi every once in a while. I like sushi.
I don't know if I feel comfortable with that message for,
the bat condom would have little ears like a French tickler.
You're not wrong.
The bat condom or the bat tickler.
Oh man.
To the bat balls.
I don't even know where to go with that.
Cat being attacked from below. So yeah. All right. I will check out some of the Superman that you recommended.
Yeah. As I said, and if anyone else is if anyone else is interested in that, again, Man and Superman, Up in the Sky, All-Star Superman.
I might actually have been given the trade of All-Star Superman at some point.
Yeah.
By a well-meaning friend telling me to come on, check it out, man.
And All-Star is one of those ones where it really is just a love letter to the things that make him what the character is.
Right.
But anyways, it's all. This is, I think, the first time I've actually been on your solo channel, and this has been just a fucking blast. Oh no, we don't need.
Go to hentai for me. No, I think I'm good. I think I'll save my strikes when I do Along with Doom.
That's the influence we don't. We need more things like Berserk. Do not need tentacle
porn. No. I mean, to be fair, there's been a lot of tentacle porn that existed long before animation was a thing.
I am bored. But
anyway, thanks guys. Appreciate you bringing it to the icky sticky place.
Oh God, not a place I want to be.
All right. Well, since the whole reason why we were doing this this stream, not just so we could hang out, but so I could show off these beautiful books that I got in today, because the name of the show is "What's in the Box." What's in the fucking box? But yeah, this was my Elysian Fields issue 0. Got my signed version that came with the print. Look at this thing. Rocking. And
it's a pretty book.
Look at the shiny. Look at the shiny.
It is a pretty book.
Man, you done good. Some high quality printing here, man. So guys, if you haven't yet, go check out his new campaign, Elysian Fields, The Pyramid Gambit. Bring that back up here.
Yeah.
If I can do it without boomerang. I think it's hilarious that boomerang is now like internet slang for like fumbling or doing something stupid. We are truly a wholesome bunch, aren't we? Yes, we are.
Of
course. That's why I like you people.
The wholesomest.
But yeah, everybody go check out Elysian Fields, The Pyramid Gambit. And if you happened to miss the first campaign, you can get it right here. And as you can see, that book is fucking gorgeous.
Yep.
So,
and yeah, we've got a lot of stuff there for you. I hope to see you guys on there.
Absolutely. One of these times is going to be a foot in the box.
You okay there, Christopher? you okay there, Christopher? Sending feet in boxes isn't considered healthy.
Didn't Howard Hughes do that? Like,
probably.
Oh, one of these times there's going to be a foot in a box. Oh fuck! I hope not. No.
That's what I was saying. I was like, is that are you okay, Christopher?
He's like,
you need to air some shit out.
That's a BO box. I'm on to you, Christopher. I'm on to you.
He's got a thing for feet.
Hey man, you know, whatever gets you going. All right, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up because I gotta go help my mom with her kittens. Gotta go administer some medicine and stuff. So, dude, Mike, thanks for coming to hang out, man. This was awesome. You know, it was fun. It's fun talking comics, printing, and you know, you've given me a counterpoint to my dislike of Superman. How's that?
I hope that you at least enjoy those books. And that's ultimately what it comes down to. That's what it's all about, right? Just giving each other some suggestions on books to read. You even gave me one. I'd never read that Superman book before, so I'll probably go check it out.
My buddy Derek actually passed that one on to me. He was like, "Hey man, check this out." And I was like, "All right, cool," and I did. It was pretty good. Christopher C says he's good on feet, not his kink. So.
Yeah, fair enough. All right, bud. Well,
I appreciate you being here. Where can they find you on the Twitters?
So you can find me at Elysian Fields _0 on Twitter. And then if you want to follow us, we do have a Facebook for 9 Realms Publishing. Follow us there too. And make sure you guys are following Special Forces Charitable Trust. If you look that up on Twitter or on Facebook, they'll come right up. That's the organization we're partnered with here for the Pyramid Gambit.
Excellent. And you guys know where to find me. Find me on Twitter at Death Metal Hero, Instagram, and I do have one of those Facebook fan pages. I just never do anything with it. I'm actually broadcasting to it right now, but it never gets any kind of interaction, at least anyway. But you know, why not? Been thinking about doing Twitch as well. I've heard good things about Twitch.
They get a lot of viewers on Twitch, and you would as well because you've got a freaking personality. They'd see, oh, blue mohawk, I'm gonna follow that fucking weirdo.
Right? Yeah, come look at this weirdo. I'm just curious
Bullshit.
how I could get away with, like, the sing along of Doom on Twitch. That would be the thing. Hopefully they would allow me.
Yeah, like I don't know if they'd allow you to do that, but like I don't know everything about that. So, but I do know they have
something to look into. But all right, guys, thank you very much for hanging out with us. I appreciate everybody in the chat for swinging on through, and we will talk to you later.
Seems that envy is my sin.
Oh, what's in the box? What's in the fucking box?